Warning. The following podcast was recorded by two idiots. It contains vulgar language, vulgar ideas, and poop jokes. If any of this offends you, blow it out your ass.
Son of a bitch bastard!
Let's start this again, shall we? Jesus Christ.
You're fucking retarded.
Hey, Pickle-Licker, wanna play the right intro?
One more time!
Are you ready?
Welcome back to a new episode of Let Us Cast. I am Andrew. With me, as always, is Bruce.
Hey, how's it going, man?
Hi!
Hi. If you were a podcast, would you have technical issues? I know I would.
If the computer wanted to give you a bunch of shit and you promised not to kill it, I don't know where to go with this.
Would you let it? I know I wouldn't.
Just say yes and we'll move on.
It's a simple question. A baby could answer it.
Yeah. Fucking Christ, man.
It's been a long road getting to this episode, but we're here, man.
Yeah, it has been, but, we're here. We got stories.
We do.
We're gonna have some fun here, hopefully.
Yes. We should probably get some sad news right out the gate just so we can move on to happier things. Because we tend to, or at least I think I tend to, save death announcements for, the end of things. And it's like, well, shit, now we're ending on a downer. It's like, way to go, Bruce.
Yeah, go, Bruce. Now you want to start with a fucking limp dick here.
Well, I guess it's not good either way, right?
It's like, well, if you rub it the right way, hey, everything comes up, right?
Put it in the middle so we have this nice little U shape like my arm was when I broke it.
I worry about you, Bruce.
I worry about me too.
I really do.
The paperwork is still in process, and they're still working on what it is.
Have there been any reports about gas leak in your neighborhood?
Only methane. After a night with much burritos.
That's why there's no more birds in your neighborhood. All right.
Well,
I got
you know.
So yeah, probably we'll start off with the downer here, just because it's request night for Bruce.
Hey, dance monkey.
Not to I was gonna go with a bury the lead joke there. Jesus Christ, there's a lot wrong with me. Anyways, I would say there were two really main celebrity deaths from at least I think our collective world.
Mm-hmm.
The first one was Ozzy Osbourne, of course.
Yes.
And I mean, that one hit pretty hard because it was just dude, it's fucking Ozzy.
Yeah.
He was supposed to be the new Lemmy or something.
He was one of those personalities that you just feel like he's gonna live forever. He's human, obviously, but at the same time, he's so larger than life that you're like, nah, man, we're always gonna have Ozzy, you know?
Yeah. Ozzy's always gonna be here. He's gonna be like Santa Claus. He's gonna bring metal to all the good little boys and girls.
He's like the drunk uncle that'll always show up at the party, all right, Sharon, let's go. You know.
Yeah. But he's the drunk uncle that comes to the party that you actually tolerate, and you're just like, yeah,
yes.
He's a good guy.
Yeah, he might be the drunk uncle, but he makes it better.
Yeah.
Because you're like, now I have something to watch. Now I have entertainment for the evening.
Yeah, he'll either bring a gift for you or joke or just regardless, he'll put a smile on your face. You're just like, yeah,
yes.
You know what? All right, he's got problems, but you know what, man? He's always been there.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. What would you say is and it's hard to pick because there's so many, but what would you say your go-to Ozzy song would be? Not necessarily solo, you could pick Black Sabbath, anything that Ozzy has ever done. What do you think would be your go-to?
I don't know, man, because just that whole Blizzard of Oz album, that was fun.
I know.
It's I was never big into Black Sabbath.
Oh, really?
Not really. I dug them, but I was just all right, they're not one of my favorite bands. I like a few songs, Sweet Leaf is cool.
Yeah.
Iron, obviously.
Wasn't it in I think I told someone recently that in high school I had the nickname Black Sabbath, but now thinking about it, I think it was actually college because I had the Black Sabbath shirt, right?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, and I forget who started that, but someone started calling me Black Sabbath because I always wore that shirt.
I don't know, but
I'll be honest, I was probably more of a Sabbath fan than I am an Ozzy fan, like a solo Ozzy fan. But I mean, at the same time, I mean, I used to listen to that Blizzard of Oz album constantly. I would like that. That lived in my CD player for much of like seventh and eighth grade. You know.
yeah.
Or I had the double live disc. I forget what it was called or when it was from, but it was from that same era of like Blizzard of Oz, Diary of a Madman kind of stuff. So it was really
Like,
cool.
Like the one thing I keep kind of like looking back on though was like the live concert that they did that raised, I think it was I've been reading anywhere between like 180 to 190 million dollars for Parkinson's.
Yeah.
Fucking kudos to them, man. Fucking excellent job by the metal community, by all the bands that stepped up and did that.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Fuck you to Motley Crue though.
Oh, it was Motley Crue. Like she came out and said it was Motley Crue.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Fuck you guys.
Yeah. Yep. I didn't. I thought you would have heard about that, given that you're a big Crue fan. Although I say that, but has your feelings about Motley Crue changed over the years, given all of the drama and the unfoldings of things? I mean, first of all, you got the problem that Vince Neil's voice has gotten so much worse over time. Not that it was ever amazing, but like as the years,
it was never really a good voice to begin with.
No, but at least it was passable. Now it's I don't know what you call that, but it's not passable. So like, has your opinion of them changed with that and like with the whole like the lawsuit with McMars and all that kind of bullshit? Like, how do you feel about them now?
I think it has changed. I think it's just like the shit going on with McMars, the fact that they said, you know, collectively like, hey, we're retiring as a band, we're done, whatever, and then The Dirt comes out on Netflix, which honestly should have been a fucking mini series because of how much stuff was in the book, and it should have like brought more of that to it.
I really need to get around to reading The Dirt because I've never read it, but I've heard such a, and I'm I'm not a big Motley Crue fan, but still, I mean, that's like it's legendary rock history that I just feel like I kind of have to know.
Yeah. So I mean, there's that. There's like just like the new music that they've come out with. Like, yes, I've asked for new Motley Crue music. Like, fuck yeah, if you guys have new songs you want to do, fucking do it. And they're not as good, and they're not. I think they're songs that like the album like Shout at the Devil, for example, like that has the advantage of like it's been around for a while. It's been able to go into more ears throughout the years. This new stuff, it's like, guys, this is not fucking Motley Crue here. Like this isn't good, man. Like,
yeah, it sucks because a lot of bands have that problem where like they have a really successful release or two or whatever, and for some reason they just can't capture that magic that made their previous songs almost timeless. You know, that's the thing is, even though I don't necessarily like Motley Crue's music, I can definitely admit that songs like Shout at the Devil, Kickstart Your Heart, like Girls, 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 they have some iconic songs and riffs that as soon as you hear it, you know exactly what it is, you know exactly who it is, and you probably know some of the words even if you don't really like it. So, but the problem is that's hard to maintain and to keep up, and so like over time you just kind of start releasing kind of bottom of the barrel stuff because, well, we got to release something, but it can't ever really match up, you know.
But it also begs the question too of Nikki has come out in the past and said like, yeah, we performed the tracks. It's like, well, are you really performing then?
Right. It's just sort of lip syncing at that point.
Yeah, at that point it's lip syncing for everybody except for Vince, who's just like screaming every third word of the fucking song.
Yeah.
Dude's gassed at the end of the first fucking song. It's like, what the fuck are you guys? Come on.
Yeah, looking like the Abominable Snowman up there or something.
Yeah.
The Bumble. I love those memes. Those are so good.
Oh god, do you ever see the videos on YouTube where like somebody tries to like translate Vince Neil singing, and it's like
No.
Oh God, it's fucking great.
I've seen the ones with Eddie Vedder with like that Yellow Ledbetter song and "On a Wizard on a Whale."
No, like, I gotta send you the one with Vince Neil. It's fucking
Yeah,
hilarious.
you definitely do get to send me
Vince up there singing like, and somebody's like translating like all the wrong words. And shit.
that. That's awesome. I love shit like that, or like the bad lip sync videos. Those are just priceless, man. I love the Beyonce one, La Fue Fue. I can't lie, I love that. It's so funny.
I love the ones. I think it's the guy's name's John Boy. Like he'll take videos from like Major League Baseball games, and like the manager's like screaming at an umpire like he's reading their lips and shit. It's like, no, he's saying no. That guy was fucking out. He was standing on third. Blah blah blah. And it's like, God, I fucking love this.
That's amazing. Oh man, the things that people can do now with the advent of the internet, man, isn't it? We live in magical times, you know.
We do. For good and bad, we live in magical times.
Yeah. You know what's interesting too is we were just because you were mentioning in your response about Motley Crue about like them retiring and multiple times. Like, isn't it interesting that in like there's a lot of parallels between music and wrestling, and that's definitely one of them. Where like bands and wrestlers or musicians or whatever, like they retire and then come back, and then retire and then come back, and then retire, and it's like they can't seem to just walk away, you know?
Yeah.
And similarly to pro wrestling, like they go far beyond what they're capable of, and they try to keep doing it at the level that they remember being successful, and they just can't keep it up.
Yeah, and here's the thing, man. I feel like kind of a fucking sucker now because my brother Ben, like his buddy would get free tickets for the arena at Mohegan Sun, and he asked me like last second, like, "Hey man, do you care where you sit if you get to see Motley Crue?" I was like, dude, I could sit behind the fucking like the cover-ups behind the stage and shit, and like as long as I'm there, I'm fucking happy. He goes, all right, cool, I'll meet you at Mohegan Sun. I was like, oh shit, motherfucker got tickets. This is gonna be great, man. We go down there, fucking floor seats.
Holy shit.
Yeah, fucking floor seats. And like I'm emotional because I'm like, fuck, it's Motley Crue. The last time my brother is here, like Nikki threw out a couple of picks like at the end of the show and whatnot. We got like 2 of them.
Nice.
And I'm like, this is never gonna fucking happen again, man. Like I got emotional, and they're just like, yeah, well, you know, we're Motley Crue. We break the fucking rules. It's like, you motherfuckers smelled money and you needed it.
Yeah.
Vince divorced for the 5th time.
And dude, this goes back such a long time. Like I remember my mom and we went to see the Eagles on what they called their Farewell One tour, and Glenn at the time even announced like the reason we called it our Farewell One tour is because that means we can have others.
Yeah, I mean,
it's like, you prick.
How many jokes have there been about, you know, Kiss's farewell?
Yeah.
Well, you know, that was just a farewell to the original lineup.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, no, that's not what you thought it was. So.
Yeah, and it's sad too, especially like some acts, because I don't know if they're real or not, but I've been seeing a lot of videos lately of Frankie Valli out there singing, and that shit's depressing. Some of it looks like it might be AI, but like he literally just has like the 1,000-yard stare.
Yeah, he does. It's just like, you know, he's just holding the microphone with like 3 fingers, like very weakly. It's like.
Yeah, it looks like someone's puppeteering him.
Yeah, it's like shit.
Yeah.
Jim Henson's doing a hell of an act now.
Yeah. So, I mean, at what point do you hang it up? You know, I feel like if it got to a point where I didn't feel like I could bring out, you know, even a modicum of what my average best would be, then I wouldn't want to do it, because I don't want to like rely on things like backing tracks, and I don't want to have to like simplify things too much or tune things down because I can't do, like, I don't want to sacrifice too much just because I can't do it, and just for the sake of putting out a show. I'd rather be the best I can be and put that out there than just be kind of mediocre and keep going for the sake of keeping going.
I mean, that's like, and I respect Alice Cooper in that sense, because he's like, look, I'm having fun doing this. I'm still able to perform as well as I need to. He's like, the second I can't do that, he's like, I'm done.
Yeah.
And I'm like, fuck yeah, respect for you, man. Absolute respect for you.
Yeah, and we originally started this by talking about Ozzy. Poor Ozzy, for the last couple of years, he's had a lot of health issues, and he wanted to get out there and do shows. But there was even an interview out there where he's like, my fans, I miss them the most, and I wish to hell I could get out there on stage right now, and I just can't. But thankfully, he got out there to do one more show.
Yeah.
And what a show it was, man! Unbelievable.
Oh yeah, I mean, just dude, you watch him saying "Mama, I'm coming home," and it's fucking heartbreaking.
Yeah. So Jeff, the singer of Day to Attend, one of the bands that I'm in, he got offered to sing a song as a duet with some other act that they're doing a little tribute to Ozzy, and they're gonna do "Close My Eyes Forever." And so, like, Larry, our drummer, he's like, dude, I've been listening to that song and it chokes me up, man, because that's such a beautiful song. But especially now that Ozzy's passed, man, it hits so much different. It's like, I hear you, man.
Yeah.
A lot of songs are like that. Mama, I'm coming home. Yeah, like anytime I hear that voice or those signature guitar parts, I'm just like, man, fucking Ozzy.
Yeah. I mean, not only that, but like just like when you see him in like random media, because like past couple of days I've been seeing like a lot of like commercials with him in it.
Yeah.
You're just like, man, we really didn't deserve Ozzy.
Yeah. Sort of like dogs. We don't deserve dogs, and we didn't deserve Ozzy.
Yeah. Both of them should have had a fucking longer lifespan.
Yeah, man. I don't know. I don't want to get into the speculation, but there's obviously been like some controversy around like the nature of his death. But regardless of how it happened, like it just sucks that he's gone, and I just hope we can all respect him for who he was and what he did, because I mean he's a freaking him and his band invented a freaking genre of music that then splintered out into so many that we have today, and it's without him we'd still be listening to frickin' the Turtles or something. You know what I mean? It would be like that era of Spinal Tap where it's like, listen to what the flower people say. You're just like, oh god.
I have no idea about how many you just pissed off, but you just pissed off a lot of Herman's Hermits fans.
Well, hey, I'm a Herman's Hermits fan, but I still respect the fact that, there's more out there than just happy
pissed himself off like, oh, goddamn Bruce.
Goddamn me. I like the Herman's Hermits.
Fucking shits on Frankie Valli, shits on fucking Herman's Hermits.
I know, right? Like, how old am I bringing up Frankie Valli and defending Herman's Hermits? What's wrong with me?
I'm not even gonna answer that.
So yes, we lost Ozzy, and we also lost another icon in a totally different field.
Yeah. And I've been kind of, for lack of a better word, wrestling with how I wanted to talk about this.
Yeah. Well, it's a complicated matter because of the nature of who it is.
Yeah. But yeah, so for those that didn't know, which, wow, congratulations to living under a rock and not having access to, fucking news.
Imagine if we're breaking the news to somebody.
That happened, what, 3 days ago? Something like that?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. All I'm really going to say is this. 3-year-old me would have been upset. 41-year-old me, all right.
Yeah. See, I'm conflicted because obviously we're talking about Hulk Hogan, who passed away days after Ozzy. I'm with you. Like, although to be honest, even as a kid, I was more of an Ultimate Warrior fan than I was a Hogan fan. Even back in the day, I kind of thought Hogan was a little goofy and hokey, and the brother, and say your prayers and eat your vitamins, brother. My 24-inch pythons. I don't know. Like, it didn't resonate with me the way Ultimate Warrior did, even though he was a lunatic and I couldn't understand a damn word he said. Hogan at least was intelligible, but just didn't care. But like, I don't know. It just wasn't my cup of tea. It's not to say I didn't like him, but you do have to respect the fact that he, it's sort of like John Cena and Stone Cold Steve Austin and these huge names, Ric Flair. Regardless of whether or not you are a fan of theirs, you have to at least respect what they did for the business, because there probably wouldn't be a wrestling business if it wasn't for Hulk Hogan. At least not to the level that it's at now.
Probably not.
Because he really brought it to the mainstream, especially by being in like Rocky 3, and that's the other thing too, is he's like he's been in movies. I mean, Rocky 3 is the most substantial movie he's been in because, you know, let's not count Suburban Commando and The Nanny and all that.
Santa with muscles.
Oh, God. Did you ever see the shit that should not be? I think it's from that one where, like, he's driving by on a motorcycle. Hogan's driving by on a motorcycle, and in the back, like, he's driving by, like, a body of water, and in the background, you can see a person throw their dog into the water. And he's just, like, bombing past. He's supposed to be, like, a good guy, like, helping people out and shit, and he's just like, oh, you're throwing your dog in the water? Like, don't got time for this, brother. It doesn't work for me, brother.
I think my favorite one, to go to a different movie, like, I know getting off Hulk Hogan's fucking stuff for a second, but my favorite shit that should not be is from the very first Superman movie of Christopher Reeve.
Okay.
So the setup is, you've seen the movie, right?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So you remember the cat's stuck in the tree, the kid's like, oh, Gracie, come down, or whatever the cat's name.
Yeah.
You know, Superman comes, he grabs the cat, gets out of the tree, gives it to the kid, like, hey, don't worry, I'm a friend, you know, flies away. Like, what does the kid do? Runs into the house, like, mommy, this guy, you know, flew down and got the cat out of the tree. What have I told you about telling lies? And it's like, dude, you got super hearing and you let that go? This lady just hauled up and slapped a fucking child. Like, what the fuck, dude?
Yeah, right. Defender of all. Well, except for you. You can have your cat back, but I'm not going to help you against your mother.
Yeah, like, I know what your mom's capable of.
Yeah, I can't contend with that, man. She's worse than Brainiac.
Last time I tried to help your mom, she told me to say my prayers and eat my vitamins.
Brother. Yeah. Yeah, Hogan's a complicated thing, man, because, I mean, obviously he told a lot of lies. He was an interesting character because of, you know, the kind of shit that he would say and the things that he did, and especially, like, with the whole racism stuff in that sex tape. God, that was ridiculous. But, like, I don't know. He's just such a controversial thing. Although there's a guy I used to watch who I like how he put this, because he was like, if you think about, like, Chris Benoit, like, when he passed away and then we found out what happened, it's like, all right, fuck that guy. Hogan never murdered anybody. Like, he was a pretty shitty dude, but at least he never murdered anybody, you know? And would Hogan have been the kind of guy to, like, choke out his kid and his wife and then kill himself? No, he was an asshole, but he wasn't that level of asshole. So, you know, you kind of got to take the good with the bad with Hogan.
True, but in a sense too, with Chris Benoit, you got CTE, the concussion syndrome.
Yeah.
Because it's like, you know, how brain damaged was Hulk Hogan?
Right.
So I think you're comparing apples to oranges. Like, fucking even Hulk brought that up in an interview. He's like, well, you know, brother, if wrestling fans can forgive Chris Benoit for everything he did.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, the problem there is that we don't forgive Chris Benoit. I think that's where he went wrong. It's not like, you know, it's not wrong in the sense of comparing, because he is right that if you look at what Chris Benoit did, it is substantially worse than anything Hogan ever did. You know, which isn't to defend Hogan, but, like, if you're gonna compare the two, then yeah, obviously Benoit's the bigger asshole. But if he's saying, like, people forgave Benoit, I'm sitting here going, like, when did people forgive? I haven't forgiven Benoit.
I haven't fucking forgiven him.
Like, who has? You know what I mean? Like, nobody in their right mind or with a heart would forgive that kind of stuff. You know, like, that's where he went wrong, is saying that, because it's like, are you serious? Who forgave Benoit?
Yeah, and I think Paul Heyman put it best. He's like, look, 3 people died in that house that night. Only one of them had the choice.
Right.
So, yeah, that's unforgivable on that sense. It's unforgivable in the sense of fucking WWE not stepping up and just going like, hey, this guy got his fucking bell rung. Fuck it, let him keep going.
Right.
Like, your brain is the central fucking computer. Like that and your heart go down, like, you're done.
Right. Now, obviously, we know a lot more now than we did then, but it's a weird business, man. It's a really weird business. It's a big fucking carnival.
Hulk was also part of the reason why WrestleMania 9, in my opinion, absolutely sucked.
Oh, man, yeah. Because I was a big Bret Hart fan right around that time, because I was starting to get away from Ultimate Warrior by the time like Bret Hart started climbing up the singles, and so I was starting to watch him more than Warrior. Plus Warrior was in and out of the company, so it's kind of hard to stand behind a guy who's not always there, you know. Yeah. And Bret was always there, so it's like, oh, okay, well, I like him, he's cool. Plus he made it look legit and real, you know. Yeah. But like I was a big Bret Hart fan, and so number one, Bret loses, and number two, Hogan comes in and beats him and gets the title, and I'm like, what the fuck is this?
You killed off two people. Like, number one, you had Bret have a solid match against Yokozuna. Was it his best ever? No, but
he did good for being against Yoko.
He did good for going up against Yoko and passing the title on to him.
Yeah.
Okay. Now you squash Yoko in 30 fucking seconds. That kills off Bret and Yoko just because Hogan's like, oh, I gotta have the belt, brother.
Right. And especially because before Hogan even got in the ring, like Bret Hart's outside and like selling and stuff, and he's like, "Go ahead, go get him for me." But it's like, "Go fight my fight for me." It's like
he's pointing at him. He's like, he's like telling his big brother, like, "Hey, he's
yeah."
Like, fuck you.
Right. Like, I don't want to fight my battles. How about you do it for me? Like,
yeah.
What the hell? Yeah, I don't know, man.
Yeah, just like the amount of like politicking for him to get what he needed, like the whole like Stevie Richards had that really good story of like, I need $2 million a year to live, brother.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck, dude?
Yeah, what are you doing that you need $2 million? Like, I get you have health issues and stuff, but
yeah, you have health issues. I get it, but like, you don't owe your ex-wife alimony anymore. Like, you're not paying them alimony. You don't have child support. You have a fucking mansion in fucking Florida. You have, the Hogan Surf Shop. Like, you have Real American Beer. Like, you're doing fine.
Yeah.
You have all these businesses that are doing well. You're doing fine.
You know what I thought was kind of creepy, too, is that not long ago we lost Rick Derringer, who obviously did the theme song for Hogan.
Oh, yeah.
And then, actually, I think it was the day before or 2 days before, but that super fan who used to dress as Hogan and be in like the front row of a lot of the shows, he passed away the same week as Hogan.
Shit.
Yeah, so it was just a bad couple of weeks for Hogan fans. There's been a lot of just like death in celebrity world lately. Like Anne Burrell passed away, and apparently it was a suicide, and like, we lost Dr. Doom there, which we talked about on our last podcast. Like, there's just been a lot of people. The dude who played Theo on, The Cosby Show.
Yep.
Like, it's just, there's been a lot lately.
Yeah. And, like, that's the thing. Like, we're all united in the sense that, like, everybody dies.
Right.
Be it celebrity or not. Like, fuck, I could drop dead in about 5 minutes. And that's one of the things you would go, yeah, Andy was right. We have that in common. I'm probably going to die too.
And probably also in 5 minutes.
Yeah. But, I don't know, like, just, like, some celebrity deaths affect me, some of them don't.
Yeah. Well, I think it depends on your connection with them. How much they resonated with you, and whether or not, to go back to Motley Crue, whether or not your opinion of them changed over time based upon their interactions in the social sphere,
Yeah.
Because if you're a prick, especially to your fans, like obviously Metallica in the whole Napster thing, they lost a lot of respect and they had to build it back up again. And
yeah. And you know what? They're doing fine now.
Yeah. Yeah. They've mended fences with Dave a little bit, although Dave, I think, went on a podcast and then was spouting shit about them after, anyway. Not necessarily spouting shit, but, like, just, telling the truth, but unnecessarily so. Like, things we already know. Like, well, they stole all my music and released it on the first 3 albums. Like, dude, not a secret. Like,
yeah.
You're not spilling any tea.
And it's like, and not only that, if you were that fucking important to them, that 4th album should have fucking tanked.
Right.
Like, they should have been going down the fuck hill
and
after that.
That was their most popular album. Whoops! Well, I wrote the first 3. Shut the fuck up. Yeah, and listen, I love Dave. I love. I don't love Dave Mustaine, but I do like Megadeth more than Metallica. But he gets under my skin, man. Dave Mustaine, like, just sometimes when he opens his mouth, I'm just like, ugh.
Yeah, like I'm a bigger Metallica fan than Megadeth. Like I do like a couple of Megadeth songs, but for the most part, like yeah, it's Metallica all the way. But that's kind of like in the dirt. Like Vince Neil talks about like how like they don't invite him to write any new songs. He's like, well, I had writing credits on these songs and they became big hits and blah 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 blah. It's like, well, then you should be fighting for more of that then.
Right.
Like if you're that fucking important, fucking do it.
Right. Step up.
I'm sure Nikki would be like, fuck yeah, like you got ideas, bring them along, man. Let's do this.
Right. Yeah. I mean, even like there was that whole thing where like Kurt Cobain was kind of famously insular about writing for Nirvana, and he kind of wanted to be like the main or the only songwriter for the longest time, or that's the aura that he gave off. But then he was interviewed about Soundless Apprentice, and he talked about how Dave wrote the riff and everything. And he's like, I think it's great now that we have other people in the band that are writing. It takes a lot of the pressure off of me. Which I think a lot of people, like if they have any kind of logic in their head, more ideas are better than less ideas, and especially diversity. Like if one person's coming up with all the ideas in a band, then it's going to get kind of stale probably over time at some point, because everybody runs out of steam creatively, every now and then. You can't always be on top.
Yeah, and I mean, to bring it back to Motley Crue for a second too, like when they announced that, okay, Mick Mars is out of the band, John Five is their new guitar player, I'm like, shit, John Five is a hell of a fucking guitar player. He's a hell of a songwriter. Like he's got a damn good track record of writing songs with like Marilyn Manson, Bob Seger, and solo stuff. He's co-written songs with Paul Stanley.
Yeah. All
right, the guy could bring something new to the table. Like, all right, be interesting to see what they do. They did a 3-song like EP or LP or whatever the fuck it is, and one of them was a cover of Beastie Boys' "Fight for Your Right to Party."
Oh my god, yeah.
Like, you gotta be fucking kidding me. Like, guys, what the fuck?
It's funny because Day to Attend ends every set with that song, and we heard it and like we were listening to it and going, shit, we do it better than Motley Crue. Like, yeah. And that's not ego. That's just like, wow, this is just not good.
Dude, Drunken Karaoke did it better than fucking Motley Crue.
It was just so overcooked, overproduced. Like, I don't know. I didn't like it. Nope, sir, I don't like it. I know you didn't like it.
No, clearly me going on the fucking wall, it's like, that was the greatest song.
I love you, Beastie Boys. I'm so glad they did it.
Hey! You gotta fight for your right to party. Play the song really good, too.
Hey, I got an idea. Let's, like, take a cover, like the Beastie Boys. Doot.
It's like, you gotta fight for your right to party. That doesn't work for me, brother.
You got me, brother. Call my wife and kids.
Yeah. Oh, you got me, brother.
Oh, my God.
You know what the funny part is, too? Like, when I heard the news about Hogan's death, like, when you sent me a text, like, oh, dude, Hogan passed away and whatnot, I was like, I was listening to Stevie Richards, like, go over, like, 10 of Hogan's, like, most famous lines and shit, and I was like, I mean, if this isn't a joke, from like, a gift from the comedy heavens.
Oh, my gosh. That's so funny, the timing on that.
Oh, yeah.
You can't plan that shit.
No, you really can't. But, I mean, just, like, I don't know, like, in more modern times, like, I would watch Raw on occasion, like, his commercial for, like, real American beer, blah, 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 blah. Like, that would come on, and I'm just like, I'm flipping it off the entire fucking time. Just going, yeah, great, fuck off.
You know what's brilliant is that because of your camera filter, it blurred your middle finger. That was genius.
Go to double work.
It can't handle it. It can only handle the one. Oh, man. That was great.
Drop shroud.
Oh, God.
The camera's like, that doesn't work for me, brother.
Yeah. Call my wife and kids. Oh shit.
But no, man, like who? That kind of begs the question though, of like, what wrestler, like, is like you and I are big wrestling fans, like what wrestler like would hit you the hardest, like if they had died?
Well, you know what hit me surprisingly hard was Sabu. Like I was a fan of Sabu, but like I certainly never expected him to pass away that soon, and you know like I was definitely taken aback by it, and I was like, holy shit, like Sabu's gone. So I mean that one hit me kind of hard and harder than I thought, but I think obviously the top of the list for me would be Bret Hart.
Yeah, I think Bret Hart would be a top one. I think Steve Austin would be another one.
Yeah, Foley, just because Foley is such a nice guy, you
like,
hate.
Yeah, I mean he's a really like genuinely warm human being. That like if you have the honor of meeting him,
Yeah.
like wherever it is, take that shot and just say hi to him.
Undertaker would be another one.
See, I was never a big like Taker fan. Like I liked the mystique and everything, but just I don't know. I think he like I don't know. Just that whole American badass thing. Like
Oh, the American Badass thing was goofy, yeah. But I remember when he debuted, and I was literally just like hands on my fucking face, like watching the show, like wide-eyed, like what is this? Because I didn't watch WCW and I was young, so like I had no idea who Mark Calloway was. Me and Mark Calloway, like Punisher, like I didn't know any of that backstory. So like all of a sudden this big ass dude shows up, and you're like, whoa, what is that shit?
you know what's funny though, and I didn't even know this until I saw a clip of it. Mark Calloway, Undertaker, is in Suburban Commando.
Yes, he is.
Yeah, I didn't even know that until I saw one of the clips of it. Because like I hadn't seen that movie for well over 20 fucking years.
That's one of Hogan's lies. Is he's like, oh yeah, you know, well, we brought him up from Georgia and we put him in Suburban Commando and then got him a deal with Vince, and so yeah, if it wasn't for me, Undertaker wouldn't have a career.
Yeah, it's like try again there, Terry.
Yeah. He had already signed the contract. It was already a done deal. They put him in Suburban Commando with you, but okay, no problem.
Yeah, not only that, like somebody else brought, Mark to Vince's, thing. Where he's like, I don't have anything for you right now. And then he's telling the story of like, eventually he gets a call from Vince. He goes, "Is this the Undertaker?" "Yes, sir."
Yeah. Although I do love Stevie, going back to Stevie Richards, I love what he says about like whenever he would hear that tale about like, oh, the writers don't have anything for you, he'd be like, well then fire the writers.
Yeah.
That's their job, is to have something for us. So if they don't, why is that my problem?
Yeah, and
question.
yeah, it's a good question, and it's a fair point too. Like I remember I was watching that clip of like him talking about Steve Austin walking out of WWE and just going, who do you fault at this? And he's like, oh, the fucking writers. Like, if you don't have anything for this top star, and your big idea is like, hey, we got this guy. He's only been here a month. He's gonna go over you clean. It's like, what the fuck? Like, all of you are fucking fired.
Yeah. Yeah. If you can't come up with something for Stone Cold Steve Austin,
yeah,
just go home. It can't be that hard. He hates everybody. He wants to stun everybody. Figure it out.
Yeah.
It's not hard, man. So anyway, since we got the uglies out of the way, you had mentioned that you have a story.
Yeah, so I have a story here. Kind of relates to the whole surgery thing and everything. But
all right,
I'm going to tell you another quick story before I tell that story.
Tell me a quick story.
I tell you a quick story.
Tell me a quick story. Quick story.
It's quick story.
Quick story. Quick story.
So on what was it? Friday, I went to it was like a 3-month follow up, like after the surgery, just like, hey, just checking in on you, just making sure you're all right, just checking your progress, all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So the nurse like brings me into the room and whatnot. And she's like, all right, just get on the scale, empty your pockets, all that crap. Get on the scale, and she's like, okay. She puts in the weight. The computer pops up with a window, and it was basically saying like, hey, that's a lot of weight loss. Are you sure this is right? Did I break it? She goes, I don't know. But it's asking me if this number is right. I'm like, okay, so did I screw up? She's like, no, if anything, you're doing pretty damn good here. So
That's awesome.
yeah, so like I'm down officially 87 pounds right now.
Dude, congrats, man. That's awesome. Well done. Well done.
So we set up the other story with this.
Uh-oh.
One of the things that they warn you about is not pooping enough, which at the start of the surgery, it's like, okay, well, you're taking a liquid diet and whatnot, and then it goes to like softer foods, and then you progressively get more and more solid foods like as the weeks go on.
Mm-hmm.
So I wasn't pooping much at the beginning. So they said, okay, if that happens, you need to like take a laxative, like take like a Miralax, because that's like you take that with water, hydrates everything, makes everything come out easier. Like
gentle cool. As a rabbit, makes you crap like a horse.
I love you for that. So they said, you just want to make sure you don't get like impacted stool or anything like that. And I'm like, all right, cool. So I'd been going like once every, like after I was like fully recovered and whatnot, I was going once every like couple of days, which I was like, all right, well, my food intake has been a little bit lower. So, that fucking makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
So there was a time I didn't go for about 5 days or whatnot. So I was like, okay, well, let me try and go here. Tried going, and it was fucking like brick hard. Like the term shitting a brick, like I was going to shit a brick.
Oh, Jesus.
So I was like, fuck, what the hell do I do now? It's like I didn't take any like Miralax. I was like, all right, maybe this should just come out gently. I'll just, don't want to get the dependence on it. So they said you have two options. Option number one, you can either put on a glove and stick a finger up there and kind of break it apart manually, or go see a doctor to do that. Or you can give yourself an enema.
Oh, man.
And I'm just like, well.
That's like every election for the past entire history of the United States. Choosing between the lesser of two very terrible options.
I mean, South Park put it best. It's either a douche or a turd sandwich.
There you go.
Anyways. So I was just like, all right. Let me try and go with the enema route, just because like that, it's essentially squirting like a saline solution up your asshole.
Right.
Like, all right, that'll kind of mix with everything and whatnot. I had to do this twice.
Oh no.
No, because so the directions basically say, they show you how like they give you pictures on how to fucking do this.
No.
Because they're like, people are that stupid. I'm like, fully agree, man.
Wait, where's my ass? I can't find it.
Oh, it's like, how do I use this? So,
do I drink it?
No. So I'm sitting there on my bed. I've got this fucking enema up my ass, squirting this shit into my asshole. That's a look that says, I don't know if I can be friends with this guy. So I'm reading the directions. It's like, okay, just, when you finish emptying the bottle, just stay there, and in about 5 to 10 minutes, you'll feel like you need to go. When you feel like you need to go, just go. As soon as I empty the bottle, like, you get that feeling in your colon, like, oh God, I'm gonna shit myself. So now here I am, like, throwing myself out of my fucking bed, trying to clamp my cheeks together down the fucking hallway, just doing like, dude, I was moving like I was doing a fucking potato sack race, but except I wasn't hopping. I was just like the little waddling steps and shit. I get to the toilet, and it's like my ass turned into the waterfall from Willy Wonka.
Oh. So I guess it worked.
But the problem was that impacted shit was still there.
Oh my God.
It's like, oh fuck, I'm gonna have to do this again.
Oh no.
Yeah, because like I'll be honest, man, I don't want to go to a doctor and just be like, there's shit blocking my ass.
Can you finger the shit out of my ass? Things you never thought you would request.
That's the last thing in the world I would ever want, is just like go to my doctor, like, hey, can you fix this? And he turns into like Dr. Frankenfurter, like,
come up to the lab, and see what's on the slab.
Slab.
Poop slabbers. Oh my god, that's
All right.
amazing.
Let me try this again and wait longer because I figure, okay, if the salien's around there longer, it's gonna have more chance to like soak in to poop, and it'll be a little bit easier to pass. So I do it again. I'm waiting 5 minutes, 10 minutes. I'm like, you know what? I feel like I gotta go, but I'm gonna give it another 5 minutes, so 15 minutes. And I'm like, okay, go, and doing the same fucking waddle of shame, just like that.
Waddle of shame.
Dude, I go to the bathroom. It comes out. Thankfully, it comes the fuck out. I'm like, oh, fucking thank fuck.
Oh my god. Was it like a
No, it was more like slowly, and then it go back in, and then slowly, and then eventually, it was just, and everything, and I'm like, oh, thank fuck. Like I sat there for like 2 minutes, just going, oh, thank fuck. Like my O-ring is fucking burning as shit right now.
Smoking a cigarette.
I'm like,
oh. Whew.
like,
oh my god,
I
man.
can't do this shit again.
Oh shit.
That was just like, I was like, I gotta save this story for a podcast. Like 3 podcasts later, now I'm fucking telling it.
Oh my god, that is fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
I'm sorry you had to go through that, but that is fucking hilarious in hindsight. That's the thing. Things like that are funny in the rearview mirror, but at the time, you're like, this is awful.
At the time, I was just like, I'm afraid to like sit. Like it would take me like, because that's like that impacted stool happened like twice so far.
Damn.
So because once I tried to use like the finger method, because I was like, oh shit, I've got gloves in the bathroom. Let's go. And it didn't fucking work. So I was like, all right, well, this is a fucking problem. But then stupid me, I look at like I have like one of those like digital like medical charts, like an app for it and everything. And I'm seeing one of the things I'm supposed to take is a fucking stool softener, 2 pills once a day. And I'm like,
well, that explains it.
fuck. Like, all right, well, okay. Thankfully, I've been taking them every day, so I was like, all right, haven't had that problem since. So I'm like, all right, good.
There you go.
I'm pooping like a champ now.
Amazing what happens when you read the directions, huh? You don't shit bricks.
Yeah. But it's also like, hey, after like day 3, you probably should have taken a fucking laxative.
Yeah.
But, shit happens.
Or doesn't.
Yeah. That's the problem.
Oh my gosh. That's so funny.
So how about you, Bruce? You pooping okay?
Just fine, man. Like a champ. I have the problem where like I have the bladder of a 2-year-old, so like cause I think some of it is because I drink a lot of coffee and a lot of water and stuff. So like every time I'm out driving for more than like an hour or something, it's like I gotta pull over and piss. Or like when we're out driving to a gig or something, as soon as we get there, I'm like, where's the bathroom? Like, sucks, man. And people are like, do you have a UTI? I'm like, no, I just pee a lot.
Should probably get your prostate checked.
Probably should.
Probably should. So
Yeah.
I think we're over that age. Like my doctor hasn't brought it up, so I'm just like, I ain't saying a fucking word.
I'm getting there. I'm marching ever closer to 45. So.
I thought it was like once you're over 40, you gotta get it checked out.
Is it?
I don't know. I've heard it was. I heard like once you turn like 40, you gotta get it checked out. Like I don't know if did they move it to 45? Because if so, hey, I've been 4 years. This is great.
I don't know.
Hopefully they move it back to 50 by the time I turn 45.
I know, right? Just keep pushing that shit.
Push it back. Like, yeah, you're fine.
Yeah. Oh man. Sucks getting old, dude.
Yeah, it does, but
I guess it's better than the alternative.
Staying young?
No, dying.
Yeah, but you're dead. What do you care?
I guess.
It's Like, yeah, it happens to everybody. It's not like you can look at death and just go, it doesn't work for me, brother.
Yeah, I'm gonna kick out at 2, brother.
Yep.
Oh man.
It doesn't work for me.
uh,
So, yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, so multiple pains in the ass on this podcast. Me using an enema, Hulk Hogan.
Yeah. My job has been a pain in my ass.
Yours too?
That's about, yeah. Lately, I mean, it's one of those things where like, I put a post about it on Facebook, but like, long story short is, I really like feeling like I'm competent and like I know how to do my job, and I take pride in doing good work, and you know, I'm totally cool with taking criticism, but there was a time where I was spoken to about some mistakes that I was making. This was like a couple months ago, and it was suggested that I slow down to see if I can maybe prevent some of them. And so I did, and I made an active effort to kind of pay more attention to certain things, slow down a little bit. And so, came to me the other day. My boss came to me the other day and had kind of a similar talk with me, only this time like out on the floor instead of like in a private room. And it wasn't so much like, hey, we're noticing a lot of mistakes, but it was just like she brought me like, here's a procedure that we do for this sort of thing, and we noticed that you wrote this lot on here and you shouldn't, kind of stuff. And I'm like, oh well, like I didn't. I wish someone had come to me. Like she had like a list of things basically that I had messed up, and I was like, I wish someone had come to me like when these happen. And I know that like sometimes you can't do it because like you're in a rush to get something done, but it would be nice to know instead of having like this list of things that apparently I've been messing up and didn't know about. You know what I mean? Because how can I fix it if you don't tell me? You know?
Yeah.
And if you just give me a document that's basically like, this is the procedure for something, that implies that I did it wrong. But if you don't give me an example of like, here's what you messed up, then it doesn't really help me at all because it's just arbitrary at that point. You know what I mean? And she also made a comment about like, or she asked me, do you, because I listened, we're all allowed to have one earbud in at work. We can't have two because there could be a fire alarm. But like, we're allowed to listen to music or podcasts. I usually listen to something to wrestle with. So anyway, she was like, do you think that that's contributing to this? And I was like, no, not any more than people coming up to us constantly and either talking to us or asking us for something. Like, no more or less than that, you know. Plus it's like, I've only been at the job for like a year. I am human. It's very complicated. So like, I don't know. Like I'm becoming less of a fan of this place the more time I'm spending there. I was also like in a meeting and people were like yelling at each other and shit, and I'm just like, it's a long commute. The pay could be better, and given all these situations, I'm just not sure I really want to put up with it anymore. You know?
Yeah.
I'm just kind of at the edge of my rope with it, or whatever the fucking saying is, the end of my rope with it. Because it's just, I don't know, it's just not worth it, you know. I drive 40 minutes a day, which I know isn't much, you know, it's pretty average, but you got to remember, like, I came from having like a 10-minute commute, and I live in a city where it should theoretically be possible to get a job closer by, so,
Yeah. Thanks.
you know. But I don't know. I also don't want to just make a linear move, because I was given an offer to interview at a place, but it would have only paid a fraction more. It would have been closer to home, but I feel like I wouldn't have had anywhere to go once I moved, so it would have been just like a move to another position and then get stuck there. And like, not for nothing, I'm not banking on this music thing being my career, so it would be nice to, whatever job I'm going to go to, at least have some room for, you know, upward movement instead of just linear across, you know, because I mean, if I'm going to be doing that for the rest of my life, I'd like to at least not be stuck in something if I can avoid it, you know?
Yeah.
Just trying to future-proof a little bit, I guess.
And I honestly, man, I don't fucking blame you at all, because like, I'm kind of going through something similar, like with my job, where I'm not gonna say where I work because fucking my boss could be watching this. Probably isn't, but whatever. No, like I drive as a courier, and nice.
Roll tide on that.
That works for me, brother.
That works for me, brother.
So, what they would do, they would cancel our day, and then they would cancel mileage. use our own cars for this. So they decided, like,
Your audio is getting a little weird, man. Did you hit a cable or something?
maybe, I don't
Oh,
know.
don't,
Fuck you.
don't eat the microphone. Fuck.
Fucker. Anyways,
I think you're okay now, but I'm sorry. What were you saying? I couldn't really hear you.
what they were doing was they would pay us our weekly pay, and then they would pay us our reimbursement for the mileage that we would get because we use our own cars for this.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what the parent company that owns us decided to do was, oh, we're going to make the drivers all use another app to track their mileage accurately, and they're going to get paid every 2 weeks for their mileage. And it's like, okay, when does this go into effect? Middle of June. Okay, great. So we're going to get our first pay, our first mileage check 2 weeks after that? No. You're not going to get it until the middle of July.
What about June?
Yeah, that's what we were thinking. Okay, so we're going 4 weeks without a mileage check. Are we going to get it all at once on that July date, and then it's every 2 weeks after that? Or no, it's just going to be 2 weeks, and then the next 2 weeks after that, you'll get those following 2 weeks from the first 2 weeks. So it's always going to be 2 weeks behind.
Yeah.
I'm like, you guys got to be fucking kidding me.
That's bullshit.
And then the company had this fucking brilliant idea, which I applaud them for. They said, "Oh well." Let me rewind for a second. So apparently there was a meeting, and apparently somebody in this management meeting said, "Well, the drivers shouldn't be so reliant on their mileage."
Huh.
Bruce, let me tell you, man. Only one other time in my life have I ever wanted to walk into somebody's office, flip over their desk, and scream at them for an hour, grab a drink of water, and scream at them for another 8 hours.
Yeah, that's insane. That's like saying you're gonna take away tips for a waiter or a waitress because they shouldn't have to rely on that.
Yeah, and it's like, well, yeah, you're right. We shouldn't be relying on it. You should be paying us more for this fucking job.
Right. Everyone deserves a fair wage.
Everybody deserves a wage that they can live on.
Right.
You know,
yeah. I mean, that said, there are scales of jobs where you would expect a certain salary based upon the skill level of the job. Right. But so that's not I wouldn't expect to go to McDonald's and expect to make $50 an hour. You know what I mean? But at the same time, the kind of people who work at McDonald's should be getting the kind of pay that the people at McDonald's should need to sustain themselves, you know? Yeah. It's like that Jim Cornette saying about for the kind of people who like that kind of thing, it's the kind of thing that those kind of people are going to like. You know, it's like that kind of thing.
Yeah. But my thing too was, okay, you say that and it makes it sound like what I do is not important enough to be decently. And it's like, well, okay, the drivers, these people, we're the ones that are keeping the fucking lights on. Not anybody in fucking management who can't do their fucking job worth of shit.
Right.
All they do, they treat us like shit, but they have this huge banner outside. We love our healthcare heroes, and heroes work here. It's like, yeah, they're also underpaid here, motherfucker.
You should start wearing Job Squad shirts to work.
I probably should. Dude, I should get a shirt and just wear that on Fridays. That's the only time I can wear a t-shirt.
Pin me, pay me.
Yep. Just wear an Al Snow shirt. What does everybody want?
Head.
Yep.
Man. Yeah, I mean, I know you've been having trouble with that job for a while, and, it sucks, man, because especially when people are messing with your pay. It's one thing to not love your job. It's another thing to not love your job and be undercompensated for it. It just makes it just a miserable existence. And it was cool because my mom she saw my post, and she's super supportive of me, which is awesome. And she was like, if you just need a break and you just want to step away for a little bit and just kind of regroup and figure out what you want to do, what your next steps are, I support that. I'm like, I appreciate that, but I don't really have the financial means to just stop working. I still got to pay rent and my bills and stuff. And she's like, I can help you out. I will support you if need be, because if you need a break, I just want you to be happy, basically. And I was like, all right, well, I'll think about it. So at least I do have a parachute if I really want it. But my big fear there is, I had a tough time finding the job that I have now. I think it took me a good like month or two to find it. Because I said earlier I live in a city where you'd think the jobs would be pretty easy to get, but the interesting thing is it's kind of not. A lot of the jobs are low paying because there's a lot of like fast food and just like we were talking about the hierarchy of pay structure kind of thing. Like there's a lot more lower end paying jobs in this area. So it's hard to find something. But like my fear is if I leave this job and then it takes more than a month, or like I don't want to be living off my mother essentially for too long. Like she's already done a lot for me, more than she really should have, to be totally honest with you, and I certainly appreciate it. But at the same time, like I'm kind of trying to draw a line in the sand to be like I need to do this on my own, and I can do it on my own. There's no reason I can't find the next thing or work on the next thing while I'm actively working. Is it harder? Yeah. And is it nice to have that little parachute, or huge parachute actually? Like absolutely. But I'm the kind of guy, I don't like to use that kind of stuff. I really don't like to depend on people, or at least as little as possible.
I get it too, man. But like, every now and then, like everybody needs help sometimes.
Yeah. Yeah, and really the thing is too, like it comes down to your mental health, and we've talked about this a lot. We do talk about mental health a lot on this goofy, silly little podcast, but like it is so important to take care of yourself. And a lot of people are like, oh well, it's selfish if you're just thinking about yourself. It's like, well, I'm not just thinking about myself, but if I don't put myself first, then I can't be here for you. Like I gotta help me so I can possibly have any shot of helping anybody else. So.
Yeah, picture it like when you're on an airplane and they go through the whole like safety instruction. They're like, the masks are going to fall off. Make sure you secure your mask first before you assist somebody else.
Right.
And it's like that's the kind of mentality that I need to like have more of. It's like, it's not selfish to think of myself every once in a while.
Right. Right. But I also feel like me, because we both are very self-deprecating in our humor. We like to tag on ourselves a lot, and so I think like me, you probably get a lot of imposter syndrome. Where like, I'm not sure if you do, but like someone will tell, even if someone's like, "Hey Andy, you're really great at blah," you're like, "Nah, fuck you, I'm not." Right? Yeah.
Yeah. It's really hard to take a compliment.
Yeah, I'm the same way. And so like but that combination of being in a miserable situation and also not being able to take good things when they come in, like that's a recipe for a bad situation. And that's kind of where I'm at. I've been having other situations beyond work where I'm having a lot of like self-doubt and imposter syndrome kind of stuff with all kinds of things, and things that I have honestly no right to be, because people have flat out told me like, you're doing fine, you're doing great, you're awesome, we love you. And it's like, but at the same time in my head I'm like, nah, you know what I mean? Like I hear you, but it's bullshit. Like I'm all right. Like I'm not as good as you think. I'm not as good as you say. Like
I think it comes down to, we were given so few compliments when we were kids that now when we grow up and we get a compliment, we're just like, what's your angle?
Maybe. I mean, I don't know if I can pinpoint it for me, because if I think back to my past, honestly, and this is just personally speaking, like, I had a pretty good childhood. Like, my parents did divorce when I was very, very young, and I didn't have much of a relationship with my dad, but, like, that's kind of the worst of it for me, honestly. And a lot of the worst memories that I could have possibly had, I don't have. Like, the things that I've heard described, I don't actually remember, and thank God, because I'd probably be a different person. I'd probably be a lot more bitter than I already am. Not that I'm bitter, I'm just being silly, but like I don't know, man, but like I really didn't have it that rough, and people really did support me, and really, I never felt like I wasn't supported or given compliments, but still I have this issue where it's like I have a hard time accepting it, and I don't know why.
I don't know why either. You're a good guy.
Stop it.
Fuck you. You'll get a compliment and like it.
I mean, for you, I don't know what your situation was like. I mean, I know your parents are both, your dad was awesome shit, obviously. Your mom's lovely people. Like, I imagine they were very supportive of you as well. Like,
they were. I think really like the worst of it came like around like middle school. Like there were times in like third grade where I had this teacher. I'll fucking never forget her, Miss Chapora, and she was just this angry, bitter lady who, like, if you didn't answer correctly, like she would kind of give you like backhanded compliments, like, or backhanded comments, like, oh, that's okay, if you try a little harder, you'll get it next time, right? It's like I remember this is like middle of third grade. I'm moving to Rhode Island from New Jersey,
mm-hmm.
and she had put up a map of Rhode Island. She's like, go point to where you're moving to. And I was like, I don't fucking know. It's like I go up there and I'm just like, I really don't know. Like, none of these names make any sense to me. I have no idea where any of this shit is. And I just go and sit down. She goes, oh, where'd you point to? I was like, I really don't know. You don't know where you're moving to? No, I really don't.
I'm not driving the car, ma'am. Give me a break.
Like, dude, I'm fucking like 8 years old at this point or something. I don't have the concept of like, hey, like for the first like couple of years of my life, like that town was my life.
Right.
That's where I played Little League. That's where I made friends. That's where I went to school. That's where we did shit.
Right.
And then it's like, hey, we're not only are we gonna go out of town, we're gonna go out of the fucking state. It's like, shit.
That's not nearly as bad as, I think it was in 7th or 8th grade, somewhere in there, but I remember I had a history class, and a girl in the class was called upon to identify, and I don't know why this was even a question in a high school class, but to point out where the United States was on a globe or a map or whatever it was, and she couldn't do it. She could not identify the United States on a map.
Then that sounds like a failure as a teacher.
That's a problem. You as an 8-year-old not being able to distinguish between New Jersey or Rhode Island or even know what the fuck those things are.
Yeah.
That's normal.
Yeah.
You're 8. Like, come on, man.
Like, and it shit just got worse. Like, when I got to like middle school, like 6th grade and 8th grade in particular, like I was suspended once a month for fighting because I was getting picked on. I was getting picked on in school. I'd come home, I'd get picked on by my older brother.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, okay, well, I'm just trying to exist.
Yeah.
And instead I've got people giving me a tough time because I exist.
Right. It's like you can't win.
Yeah, it's like I can't win. It's like what do you guys want me to do here?
Right.
So, I mean, thankfully my parents were supportive of the fighting. They're like, as long as you don't start it, that's okay.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, perfect.
That's pretty much how my mom was, because for a while there, I didn't want to go to school because I used to get beat up by this kid, Anthony, and, like, I remember there was one day where I pretended to have, like, a stomach problem or something like that, and I wanted to stay home from school, and my mom saw right through it, and she was like, what's actually bothering you? And I was like, I told her, there's this kid, Anthony, that's been beating the shit out of me every day, and, it sucks going to school, basically. And she was like, well, have you been hitting him back? And I'm like, no. And she was like, well, you can't, much like you said, you can't start a fight, but if you don't throw the first punch, you have my permission to defend yourself. And so the next time he came up and messed with me, I just threw a sweet chin music at him and popped him right in the mouth, made him bleed, and he never fucked with me again. And as a matter of fact, his dad ended up calling my mom and was trying to, like, cuss her out and stuff over, hey, your son kicked my son in the face and made him bleed and blah, 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 blah. And then she was like, well, he did that because your son has been up my son's ass for the past blah, 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 blah. And, man, hearing her, like, ride him, like, over the phone was fucking hilarious. I was like, man, I win. But see, that's what I mean. Like, I had people to my defense. Or another story is like, my grandfather was super supportive and protective of me, which is why I think we were so close. But, like, I had a school project in some point where I had to, like, make a solar system, like a model of the solar system. So I had all these, like, styrofoam balls and glue and markers and whatever, and I was just going to put it together and stuff. And all these family members, I lived in a house with, like, a lot of family members. There was, at one point, there was, like, 8 people living in, maybe 10 people living in the same house at the same time. It was kind of banana. But, yeah. So everybody pretty much was like coming and seeing what I was working on and then giving their 2 cents about, oh, well, you should really do this and actually, maybe a little glitter here and don't hang it like that. You should use it and use wire and blah, blah, blah. And everybody just had these pieces of advice they were throwing at me. And my grandfather came in, saw all this stuff, saw that it was bothering me, picked up the project, brought it downstairs to the basement, which is where like his main area was, and he had like a workbench on the other side. And so he brought it over there and set it down on his workbench. And then he came up and got me. He was like, here, follow me. And he brought me down and he sat me down. And he's like, work down here. And he went up and told them, like, if anybody goes down and bothers him, like, you got to get through me first. And I was like, whoa, that's fucking cool. Like that's what I mean. Like, people did totally come to my defense. So I don't understand where this whole like imposter syndrome and self-doubt comes from. I mean, we're all human and we all have those moments, but like you could literally compliment me and like I could have literally done something really well and I know I did really well, and you could be like, Bruce, you did that really well, and I'd still be like, I could have done it better. It's weird.
Yeah.
It's weird. Or I do something and I feel like I did something wrong even though I didn't. Like,
right. And then
I don't know.
And then you justify that in your mind of like, well, you know what, I'm my own worst critic.
Yeah, and the theater of the mind is certainly a powerful thing because you can really spiral into yourself and start just being like questioning everything kind of thing. So you gotta, like, for me personally, I gotta be cognizant of it and reel myself in, because otherwise it can, like, I've certainly spiraled into some pretty bad depressions over stuff like that before, where like you just can't help but one thing to the next, and before you know it, you're a country song basically.
Well, I wouldn't go that far because nothing to your wife, and I mean your cousin.
Oh man,
took your roll tide.
Roll tide on that. So let me ask you, Andy, who booked this shit?
Life did.
And why was it Vince Russo? Bro. It's a swerve.
Self-doubt, bro.
That's a swerve.
You are just awful at this. But no, man, just like the whole like imposter syndrome thing. It was like even if I like when I was in middle school and whatnot, and I wasn't like suspended or whatnot. If I'd go to like a school dance, like the first time I went, it was just like, all right, a couple friends are gonna be there, just hang out or whatnot. And then just by the end of the night, I was just like, why the fuck was I here?
Yeah.
And then it's like, okay, well, maybe next time I'll be different. And then the next time it was just...
Same shit.
Same shit. Like, everybody's dancing around, they're happy, like, nobody's really talking to me. I'm like, why the fuck am I here? Like, I shouldn't be here.
Yeah. That's pretty much why I didn't go to dances either, because I would always be the one just, like, sitting on my own, just, like, not doing shit. I'm just like, this is stupid. And as a matter of fact, I was asked to my high school prom by a chick that I had a crush on in high school, and I said no, because I didn't. I was that level of didn't like dances. I was like, I won't even go with the girl that I have a crush on. I'm a man of my word, and when I say no, I mean no.
Motherfucker, I'm gonna reach through this computer and slap you silly. Do you look like Vince Russo? Then I'll choke you out, motherfucker. But yeah, like even senior prom. I had a girlfriend at the time, and everything was going good, and we're riding to the limo and whatnot. And I was like, again, I was questioning. I was like, shit, like why is this person with me? Like, why did she choose to be with me?
And I know you talk a lot too about like the whole Charlie Brown thing, where you're just waiting for the ball to be.
Yep.
Like when things are going well, you're just like, oh god.
Yeah.
Here it comes.
It's just like usually within a week, 10 days, something. It's like, nope.
Yeah.
You can't be happy.
Yeah. And it's hard because I'm trying to find the solution to that kind of thing, because it's like. I don't know, because it sucks to have to go through that kind of stuff. And, we're all human. We all go through it, obviously. We all have our ups and downs. But getting into those kind of headspaces is really not fun. And generally speaking, I'm a pretty positive person. But I've definitely had some cycles, since moving up to New Hampshire. And because of, obviously what created the need to move up here, and things I've gone through since. Like I've definitely had some periods of depression, that have popped up here and there, and it just sucks because sometimes it popped like right now I would consider myself to be in a bit of a funk, not necessarily depressed, but definitely in a bit of a funk, and it's the weirdest one for me because it's in a time where like everything's coming up Millhouse, so like I should be stoked about stuff and I'm not, and I'm just like I don't know why, and people are telling me like, hey, you're doing great, and I'm just like, nah, but I don't feel like I am. I don't know. And I don't know if it's like my standards for like what I want or what I see or whatever, or if it's just like I have a hard time accepting it to begin with. I don't know. But it's annoying.
I think part of it is too that like you have an idea of what would make you happy. But there are, external circumstances that work against you being happy.
Yeah.
It's like I know what I would like to be happy. Like I would like to make enough money to have a place of my own, to have a nicer car, not drive like a fucking Lamborghini or anything, but like something more reliable than the car that I have.
Mm-hmm.
Something to like take a nice vacation once every year, something like that. But the external things, like the things that I can't control, like, oh hey, we're gonna hire you for this job. We're not gonna pay you enough though. You're gonna have to pay like my health care, for example. Like last year, my health care was like 50 and change a week. This year, it jumped up to over 70.
Oof.
Yeah. Next year, it's probably gonna jump up even more than that. It's probably gonna be like $100 a week or something if I'm still at this place.
Holy shit, man.
Yeah. Just so I'm just like, at what point, am I allowed to like just have the things to just be happy?
Yeah.
And it's like, some people will like look at you like, oh, you're ungrateful because you have good things. It's like, yes, yeah, I'm thankful for the fact that I have a roof over my head. I am thankful for the fact that I have a car that's reliable enough to get me from point A to point B. Like I am thankful for those things. I am thankful for the friends that I have. But it's at what point, where like you see other people and like you can't help but be jealous of the fact that like they're the same age as you and like they've got the lives that you want.
Yeah.
Where like they have like the wife and kids, they have the nice house, and it's like, yeah, like I've been busting my ass like trying to get paid enough so I can have those things. And it's like, the attitude I come across though is like, oh, you just need to work harder. Go get a second job. It's like, well, motherfucker, shouldn't have to.
Right. Should be able to sustain yourself on one.
Yeah.
And that's the thing too. Like when it comes to happiness, there's a lot of things, and it's not that I don't agree with it, but they say like you can't look for happiness. You have to just make it for yourself, and you can certainly find happiness in less than ideal situations. But at the same time, I think what you're kind of getting at is like there's nothing wrong with aspiring to be more than what you are now. And as a matter of fact, if you're not, then you're kind of technically stagnating, right? So it's kind of a good thing to want more, as long as you're not being greedy, and you're not the type to be greedy at all. You just, like you said, you want, a basic, nice existence that, we all should have the right to, but it's difficult because we definitely live in a world where things just keep getting more expensive, and there's more and more people, and it's I don't know, things just keep adding up. And like I said, for the most part I stay pretty positive, which is kind of weird sometimes because when you look at some of the things going on, it's like, well, how can you be positive about this kind of stuff? But I do ultimately feel that most things work out for the better ultimately, but I don't know. It's certainly a pain to get there sometimes.
It is. Like, it's again, it's like I'm happy with the things that I can control. Like I can control, what I do with my free time.
Mm-hmm.
I'm happy about that. What I'm not happy about is somebody else basically telling me like, yeah, like all that hard work you do, we're just gonna give you like pennies on the dollar for it. so you're not going to be able to have like a place to like go home and recharge.
Mm.
You know, I would love to have like my own place to just kind of sit back, do whatever, pay whatever bills I need to, and then just be happy.
Right.
Like I said, I'm not asking to like live in a mansion. I'm not asking to have a 500-foot long fucking driveway that's heated for the winter months.
Right.
Like, just shit.
Right.
Uh-oh.
Sorry, that's a text message.
I was gonna say, is God calling you?
No, I forgot to silence my phone before we started.
Bruce.
It's a swerve, bro. Yeah. I don't know, man. I think, too, like, both of us are the kind of guys that we don't have a lot of self-esteem, and probably for a lot of reasons, and that plays in a lot as well, because, it makes it hard to take a compliment, and it makes it hard to look around and see people doing so well, and you look at yourself and go, well, fuck, what's wrong with me,
Yep.
But there's nothing wrong with us. It's just that, some people get things easy and some people don't. And I'm not saying like we have things like super hard or whatever. There are certainly people that have it worse, but I don't know. It just sucks going through these periods, I guess, is when it's like, especially like I said, right now for me, where things seem to be going pretty well, and I still can't seem to like shake this stupid, like it's not enough, or I'm not enough, or I don't deserve this, or I should be doing X, Y, and Z, and why can't I just do this or that or the other thing? And I don't know. I'm very self-critical, and especially lately.
And you should, in a sense, like if you come up with a guitar riff and you're just like, you know what, I know I can do better. Like,
yeah,
just that for yourself. Just say, all right, I'm gonna bet I can do better than that.
Yeah. Just trying to keep moving the bar upwards.
Yeah.
Without driving myself bananas. But that's been a problem too. Like honestly, is like just feeling uninspired, or like when I go to write something, I'm like, no, it's boring, or no, it's too much like this, or like I've just been on a real dry spell with that lately, and the good news is, musically speaking, I'm in a good spot with the projects that I'm in terms of like knowing the material. So I'm in a very comfortable spot where I don't have to work on it a whole lot, which is nice, because I think right now, excuse me, I would be in a period where I would probably want to step back and take a break, because I do love playing, not necessarily as much as I'm playing, and not necessarily all the things that I'm playing, but I do enjoy playing, and maybe if I had a little bit more perspective and foresight back, I don't know, a year or two ago, I might have taken different steps than I'm in now. But I think we all make decisions based upon what we think is best for us. We're always, I think for the most part, we're working with our best intentions for ourselves, whether it's short term or long term, and sometimes the best intentions just don't pan out, but then I feel like I kind of contributed to my own situation of this imposter syndrome thing, because it's almost like there's so much going on that I feel like I don't have the energy or the opportunity to move myself to the level that I would really like to be at, because if I'm say I'll use numbers here, if I'm, let's say, like a 6 and I want to be at an 8, like I need to take the time to get to that level, but I'm not, because I'm just so burnt out by just the notion of doing what I have to do, that like when I come home from whatever I'm doing, I usually just want to pop on a YouTube video and just relax, because I'm just spent, because I have just so much going on. But so it is nice to be busy and filled with things that on paper I enjoy. The problem is that the more you do it, then the less you enjoy it, or at least the less I enjoy it, and the more I start to feel like, what am I doing here?
Yeah.
So
it's also like that advice that my therapist gave me. He said, look, picture your life as a canvas. This goes for everybody out there. Picture your life as like a canvas. Your life is a work of art. All right? Don't focus on one area too much, because if you focus on the details in that one area, you're forgetting the rest of the picture.
Right.
So every now and then, absolutely, take a step back, take a breather, look at the whole picture, and just say, all right, I've done some work there. I want to spread some work around, other places.
Right.
Be a Bob Ross and put some happy trees around it.
That's why this offer from my mom is certainly enticing, because it would be nice to take a step back and not have to worry about things, but then I can't help but worry about the worry after that. Like it's like I overthink a lot, man, and I think you do too. That's why it's kind of nice talking to you about this kind of stuff, because we're very similar in those ways, like mentally, the way we think, not necessarily the way we think about everything, but the way that like we think about ourselves and our perception of ourselves. I think
so.
Oh shit, my camera just died.
Uh-oh.
Yep. So I think we might have to call it right there, man. Because I'm frozen. You should see it. Like when this video posts, you gotta see it. It's just me frozen in the ether. You can still see me, but the audience can't. So I guess we can continue for a little bit. It's just I'm gonna be audio only. You know why I didn't plug in my phone? I'm so stupid. See, all this talk about imposter syndrome, and there we go. It's deserved. I can't even remember to plug in my freaking phone.
Bruce, knock it off. You're not stupid.
All right, there we go. Phone's plugged in. It's probably going to take it 3 years to charge, but it is what it is.
I'm fixing to come up there and smack you with a sack of oranges.
Oh, shit.
I can do it, too. There's no regulation about assault with any kind of fruit.
I can't believe I did that. That's so funny.
Nah, man.
It's the first time for everything, though. I don't think I've ever done that before, where I forgot to plug in my phone.
Yeah, but man, like it's one of those things. It's a minor thing. We have a good laugh over it.
It's true.
And life goes on.
The show must go on.
But yeah, man. So, but yeah, just like focusing on your life as like a work of art. I will take that advice with me to the grave and just say, like, you know what, man, I'm content with this.
Yeah.
Tempering my expectations.
Yeah, and it's funny because like I certainly, I've dabbled a lot in Buddhism over the years, and like that's all about acceptance and letting go and all that. So it's funny because I intellectually understand that and know that, but man, it can be really hard to apply sometimes, and especially like at random times like this where just these questions pop up for no good reason. And I don't know, that's honestly probably the most challenging time, because when shit's going wrong, you're like, well, I can understand why I'm questioning things because this sucks. But when everything seems to be going right and you're like, why am I not happy? It's like, how do you just accept that? It's weird. It's a weird position to be in.
It's not only that, but like it's when good things are happening, you're just like, why are good things happening? Like,
or you're waiting for bad things to happen. That's the problem though, is then you're not technically then working without expectation. You're working with the expectation of something bad is going to happen eventually.
Yeah, because you always have that in the back of your mind of like, hey, like, like my mentality, if something good happens, like, all right, something shitty's gonna fucking come right down the way.
Right.
It's like going to a restaurant. They give you a salad to start off with, and you're like, okay, to quote John Bonet, like, this is a promissory note that good things are coming. I'll wait right here. But to change up the joke, it's like they bring you the salad, and then they give you the head of a relative on a silver platter, and just go like, "Are you happy? No, your mom's dead." Like, what the fuck? Like this. It's. I don't know, man. It's tough to be happy, and sometimes it sucks to be happy.
Yeah. Kurt Cobain said, "I miss the comfort in being sad."
Yeah.
It's that whole devil you know thing, Although for me that's not really true, because I've generally speaking been a pretty positive person, but I've had my moments. I've definitely had my moments.
I'd say you're more of a negative creep and you're stoned.
I'm a negative creep. I'm a negative creep. I love that song because it sounds like he's taking a shit the whole time.
I mean, what song doesn't?
Oh yeah, sure, fair.
It was just his vocal style. So.
I guess you're right. Yeah, always sounded like he was pushing out a turd.
Yep.
You know what's funny is like talking about, because I asked you earlier if your perspective on Motley Crue had changed at all over the years, and I don't know about you, but my perspective on Nirvana changed over the years a little bit, not in any kind of negative way, but just in the sense of like that was the band that got me into playing music in the first place. But as I've grown as a musician, I've come to appreciate some of the other grunge bands a little bit more. Like, and I would say now my favorite grunge artist is probably Stone Temple Pilots because they're just musically amazing. And I would put Alice in Chains up there as well, or even Soundgarden. But the only problems I have with them is that their sound tends to be kind of one-trick ponies in a sense. In that, like, once you've heard one, Alice in Chains song, you kind of heard them all. And kind of same thing with Soundgarden,
Yeah, but I mean, you can make that same argument for AC/DC, but AC/DC is still fucking awesome.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
But I mean, I can give you another band that your perspective has changed on, and that's Mr. Big.
Yeah.
It's like
I used to think they were the To Be With You guys.
Yeah, and then fast forward however many years, like there you and I are, like watching them on their last tour ever.
Yeah.
And you're just going like, man, Paul Gilbert's a fucking guitar god.
Yeah.
So, I mean, time definitely changes perspective.
It does, man. And could I give you a story, like a positive story that maybe we can end on to kind of like give everybody a nice warm fuzzy feeling to go out?
Is it a quick story?
I don't know if it's quick, but it's quick-ish.
Yeah, give me a story.
All right, so it's funny you mentioned that Mr. Big show because that was the first show where I had. I love it. I love it.
Story.
Where's your blankie? So like that show was the first show where I had run into my bass player who's now in Down Boys. His name is John, and he had gotten. We had separated out of Satellite at one point out of circumstances that stemmed from a disagreement or several disagreements between him and this other guy, Aaron, who I also play with. As a matter of fact, I'm going to be going and practicing at his house later today. So anyway, they had butted heads at one point, and I reconnected with John kind of at that Mr. Big show. That was the first time I saw him after the split had happened. Anyway, like that's what made me think of this story. But fast forward to very recently, and John and Larry and I are driving up to a gig, and John is talking about like I think I brought up Aaron at one point, and John's like, you know what, man, I think I owe him an apology. And I was like, you think so? And he was like, yeah, man, I just think I handled that situation kind of bad, and I feel bad about it. And I was like, well, I got to tell you, like, selfishly, because I really love the both of you. I think you're both really good people and really talented, and I don't want this to, like, sway you or whatever, but, like, I think it would be really cool if you guys could mend the fences, just selfishly because I like the both of you. And he was like, all right, man, cool. And so a couple days go by, and I had a little bit of drama myself with somebody else in the band Satellite whose name is Derek. And it's not like we necessarily had like heat or anything, but I definitely left a little bit boo-boo face. And so I sent him a text message to be like, hey man, how's it going? I know it's been a while, and I honestly just kind of felt like a dick for not reaching out to you for this whole time. And I just wanted to see like how you're doing. And he was like, hey man, I'm doing good. And I told him like I'd heard one of his songs he's been working on recently. He's like, hey man, I'm doing good, and I heard what you guys have been doing in Down Boys, and it's really awesome, and it's really nice to hear from you. And I'm not on social media anymore, but you can always reach me here. So like kind of buried the hatchet with him a little bit. And I told John like, hey man, I just want you to know, like, the idea of you burying the hatchet with Aaron got me to want to bury the hatchet, not that we had one necessarily, but to kind of close the book on the Derek situation. So I just thought I'd let you know, is that, like, Satellite's kind of becoming one big happy family again. And he's like, that's really cool. I'm going to reach out to Aaron right now. And literally he sent me the screenshot of what he had sent to Aaron. And, like, Aaron came to the Down Boy show last night. And so, like, that was kind of the first time that those two were in the same room together, was last night. And so it was kind of cool to be like, it's really cool that time can really change things entirely. Like we're talking about, like changing your perspective. Like his perspective of Aaron completely changed, and like my perspective of Derek completely changed, and like sometimes it just takes time and stepping back, like we were talking about, and man, it's a totally different world, you know.
Yeah, but
I love you for that. Yeah, but
like, yeah, but
roll tide on that.
I mean, there are still there is still a relative. Like, no matter how much time goes by, I'm still gonna think he's an asshole and a piece of shit. And
I guess it depends on who and what it is.
like when he dies, I will fucking pour a beer out on his grave for him. But I'm gonna filter it through my fucking kidneys first.
See, I don't think I have that level of hatred or anything for anybody.
Because he was a bully.
Who was?
The older brother.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I'm not talking about that John.
I know. I'm talking like, hey, like sometimes time
does not heal. Yeah. No, and I get that. But it does. It can. Let's put it this way. It can change your perspective.
I mean, it can change your perspective, but sometimes it also takes like, somebody on the outside just going like, hey man, I think you could have handled that a little bit better.
But also sometimes, like, it doesn't need to change. Like, if you were severely abused by somebody in your past, then you are under no obligation to forgive them.
No.
At all. So in that sense, like, time doesn't have to heal those wounds. You don't have to get over that. You have to carry on, but nobody has the right to be like, oh, just get over it. It was in the past, like.
Yeah. And it's usually the person that's wronged you that tells you like, oh, just get over it. Get over it.
Yeah. It's no big deal. It's a baby Ruth.
Yeah, it's like, oh, fuck you.
Yeah. Exactly.
So, I'm just glad to hear that like everybody's kind of like come together there and like just saying like, hey, you know what, man, we said some shit, we got angry at each other. You know what, man, it's in the past.
Yeah, and you know what? It's fucking music. Like, people getting butthurt over music. Take a chill pill, man.
And not only that, but I think the golden thing too is that whole experience has taught them like what they're going to do in the future. Like, they're going to learn from that experience. Like, hey, you know what? I handled that situation a little bit differently. If that situation kind of comes up again, they're going to handle it differently because they've learned from it.
Yeah.
So that's probably like the second best thing that's come out of that.
Yeah. Yeah. So again, like, everything's coming up kind of Millhouse, but still here I am, like, shaking my fist at shit. But much to your point of like, yeah, but
what?
That's kind of the theme of this podcast. Like, yeah, but
yeah, it's like, hey, Hulk Hogan died.
Yeah, but oh man, everything comes back full circle, sir.
It really does. It really does. Bruce, you got anything you want to plug before we head out of here, man?
Yeah, man, you can check out all of my bands. We've got Day to Attend. I would just say just go to Facebook and search for these acts. It's the easiest way to find them all. So Day to Attend, Down Boys, Marks and Gates. Go check those out. All of them are superb in my personal opinion.
An absolutely unbiased source if I ever heard.
100% unbiased. Come on now. Well,
yeah.
You know.
It's like, instead of, well, you know, it's like, yeah, but.
Yeah, but. How about you, man? You got anything to plug? Aside from your asshole? I've made that joke before, but now apparently lately it's been pretty true.
Yeah, but.
Yeah, but. Oh, good lord. This has been like the best podcast ever. I'm just going to say that.
Yeah, but has it really?
Oh, shit.
I got nothing to plug other than, I know you and I are going to work together sometime to, we're going to get together. We're going to do some more gaming videos. So I just added a Xbox One X to the arsenal, so.
Nice.
Got that. I think you would probably get a kick out of playing the Deadpool video game, so I have a copy of that.
Oh, cool.
And, there's going to be other games coming down the pike, so
There's always something coming down the pike, man. It's just a matter of the scheduling. And I know I've personally been responsible for a lot of scheduling snafus lately, but I'm hoping that shit will kind of calm down. But as long as everybody's patient and we get, I just like to get our shit in when we can.
Yeah. Which, I mean, if we just continue to do this, I'm okay with that.
Yeah. I wanted to try to stick to the every other week because I thought that would be more manageable than every week. And then it's like, well, fuck, even every other week is kind of fucking me in the ass. So it's like, what the hell, man? I can't catch a break with this shit. But
You're seeing anima.
Yeah. So
nothing else to plug on that other than stay tuned when we can announce something. We'll definitely have some gaming videos that'll go out.
Absolutals.
If you guys have a request for a game, just put it down in the comments.
Boop boop.
Like and subscribe.
Your thumbs are getting censored as well. You're just not allowed to have fingers in this podcast.
It's like, put their thumbs up. Yeah, bud.
It's a swerve, bro.
We know what those thumbs have been, bro.
You've been breaking up your own shit with them.
You give it a thumbs up, you smartass.
Hey, smartass.
Smartass.
Oh, sunset enema, smartass.
So, I think that's going to do it for us on Let Us Cast. I am Andrew.
And I am Bruce.
And we'll catch you guys next time.